So after 3 weeks and some change following the mid-season update and the Rebirth changes that came along with it, we actually have another Easter egg here to complete with today's inclusion of the golden vaults that were unlocked following all of the community challenges being completed. This brought along with it 3 new vaults to explore and to get some high-level loot in. That in addition to what we already see with the keycard Easter egg that we talked about here on the channel a couple of weeks ago when that update actually went live. But today we're going to be breaking down where these vaults are, how to unlock them, and what's inside. Hopefully this can help you out, and if it does, do me a favor, drop a like on it, and perhaps drop a comment for the algorithm. Additionally, if you'd like to stay up to date with all things Warzone, whether that be Easter egg guides like this on the rare occasion that they add new ones in, anything from loadouts, tips and tricks, or just updates and information, hit that subscribe button if you'd like to stay up to date with all of that. We're on that road to 500,000 subscribers, and I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, if you'd ever like to support the channel a little further, using creator code ESPRESSO in the in-game shop of either Warzone, Vanguard, Cold War, or Modern Warfare is an entirely optional yet great way to do so. Do not ever feel pressured to, but if you ever do, tweet me a picture. I'd love to shout out some of your generous support in upcoming videos like these legends on screen. That said, let's jump into it. So with the mid-season update that we ended up getting, Rebirth got some changes. We of course got the courtyard changes in prison block. We of course got that new point of interest of stronghold. We got the 2 ships added on both sides of the map, but also kind of under the radar and really not of much concern until today were 3 new vault locations. I say they weren't really of much concern because you couldn't enter them until today. Those being on the stronghold cliff side, one being in the Nova 6 factory basement, and then one near decon zone, but on that sort of lower shelf by the water, there was another one placed there. These were added with that mid-season update, but they're now finally interactable. The nice part to enter these is that every single one of these requires the same key code input, which is an 8-digit code that you have to input just like all the other code Easter eggs that we've done in the past, here both in Verdansk and even on Rebirth Island to an extent. To obtain this code, admittedly, it's kind of weird, but it's something that's also kind of straightforward, pretty simple. You want to dive into prison block and start looking there. Things can definitely get spicy, especially once people kind of find out about this kind of stuff, so best of luck if you want to jump in right away. But if you want to come back and say a week or the week following when everything dies down a little bit, it's definitely going to be a nice way to kickstart either an early BR game or get a nice little bonus here in plunder to kickstart anything going towards that win there. But once you go into prison block, what you're going to be looking for is 6 TV remotes with red lights on them. These will be found inside random cells throughout the block on top of the sort of actual system of each of the toilets there. There's 6 of them total, and each one corresponds with an activation of one of the TVs at the sort of central cell block command center, if you want to call it that, in the center of that cell block. When you find them, they won't give you any prompt to say to activate them, but all you have to do is hold your square, circle, or whatever you have bound here to interact with things, and then it will interact with that remote and count as turning on one of the TVs. So basically, all you have to do is just go on a scavenger hunt, activate all 6 as fast as possible, and then you'll have all 6 TVs active. One fun little fact here that can help you out if you pay attention is that the locations of each TV, there's 3 on the left side and 3 on the right side. This can help you narrow down what side of cell block you actually have to look for with remaining TV remotes active. So for example, if you're looking at those TVs and all 3 of those displays on the right side are turned on to static, however many TVs you have on the left side, that's how many remotes you need to find, but only on the left side of the cell block. So it narrows that search down in some instances and definitely can be helpful in finding that pesky last 1 or 2 if they still may be active. With so many cells open, it's definitely easy to lose track of what you checked and what you didn't, so once you end up having that narrowed down, it helps out greatly. But from there, all you have to do is walk over to that station once you get all 6 of those completed, and then interact with the red phone that will start ringing here. From there, it will output an 8-digit code to you. Write that down because that's definitely what you need, and that's going to be the activation code for all 3 bunkers around Rebirth Island. Now, if you do miss this initially, you can activate it again. It's not something that's one and done, which is definitely nice. I had some people camping this out here, waiting for me to activate all 6 and then just killing me immediately afterwards, so I could go back and do it and get the other bunkers here completed. Definitely nice, but once you complete that, make a mad dash to whichever bunker you'd like to open and go and get that loot for it. From prison block, they're all relatively equidistant, so it really doesn't necessarily matter too much, but stronghold is likely going to be a little bit more highly contested in some games, just because there's been action there as of late since it's been introduced. But that said, once you go to whichever one you want to open, you can open it with that 8-digit code, and then you're all good. If you have the time and the ability to go across the map to all 3 different locations, it's not a bad choice since that code again is indeed universal. So that means that you can open up all 3 with that one singular code. Doesn't matter which one you choose. Now, the only caveat with these codes is that just like the bunker 11, 11 Easter egg and all other Easter eggs that actually rewarded some high-level loot here at this is that they're going to be randomized each game, so one code will not work from game to game. You unfortunately can't just jot down the code and then go to it immediately as the game starts. You'll have to go and activate those sequences every time. Now, let's talk about what's actually in these vaults. As with each Easter egg that you'll find in Warzone from first Bunker 11 Easter egg to now, the contents differ depending on what you're playing. Rebirth is in kind of a weird state right now where we actually do have plunder for once here, so that means that you will have a variance between plunder and battle royale loot inside each bunkers. Now, that said, the battle royale loot is specialist, Foresight, durable gas masks, miniguns, and multiple legendary crates here. I think specialist and the durable gas masks is corresponding to however many players are in that mode, so solos at reward 1 all the way up to quads where it could reward 4. Haven't quite tested that out fully, so just bear in mind that may be subject to change, but that high-level loot is absolutely all there. And then in Plunder, you get tons of cash and really just whatever comes out of the legendary crate spawns that you find down there. Noticeably absent, however, is a blueprint of any kind, like the Red Room Milano blueprint and any of the blueprint rewards that we saw from the Easter eggs in the main year of Modern Warfare Warzone. So, unfortunately, that makes for a sad espresso depresso, if you will, that there's not a collectible Easter egg here, and that chalk mark tally on the wall gains another one for how many days it's been since we ended up getting one of those type of Easter eggs. Only sarcastic, but like, it's also been 481 days since the last introduction with that Red Room Milano blueprint, so the sadness and agony does continue. But people thought that we'd end up getting a radioactive looking riot shield as a result, since that was part of some marketing that hasn't been quite seen just yet. That doesn't appear to be in it just yet. Maybe that's added in, maybe it's bugged right now, but we'll have to wait and see. For the story nerds out there, though, you may notice that there are a few letters to Kravchenko in this as well, but those unfortunately aren't new. They're the same ones that we saw all the way back in 2020 with the original Vault Easter egg as well, which is kind of odd because with Season 2, they kind of touted that we'd get new story elements here introduced for Rebirth Island, a familiar foe returning, but nothing's really new here that we see right now. But that said, that's the Easter egg here and how to enter the golden vaults and what is in each of them. So that said, try it out for yourself. Again, it's a relatively straightforward and to the point Easter egg. I don't think this one was particularly tough. The only thing that you're really going to have a problem with is just other people maybe say griefing this or coming in and trying to steal your thunder. But it is nice that if they end up stealing it, you of course have 2 other vaults that you can choose from if they go off and try and collect the loot here from it. So that said, that's what we're going to call it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you like this vault Easter egg? Were you hoping to see another Easter egg blueprint reward introduced? Whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you find it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, do be sure to subscribe button to stay updated with all things Warzone. Again, whether that be Easter egg guides like this, loadouts, tips, tricks, updates, and information, we got you covered with all of that. So if you guys are at all interested, I'd love to have you in the community. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.